Picture yourself lying in bed. Your partner is right next to you. The door is closed. The lights are out. You are all alone. Well, for 99% of human history, this moment did not exist. No doors, no walls, no bedrooms, just you and your family, and 20 other people sleeping 5 feet away. So, how did ancient people get any privacy? Simply put, they didn't, but the actual details are much more interesting. Let's start with the hard reality. For about 300,000 years, humans lived in small bands of 15 to 50 people. You weren't even related to everyone around you, yet you were always right next to them. In hunter-gatherer camps, there were no walls, no private rooms, no personal space. You huddled together for warmth. Everyone ate together. You sat around the same fire. If you needed to talk, everyone heard it. If you were angry, everyone knew. And if you and your partner wanted some alone time, everyone knew that too. So, how did couples handle this? Anthropologists studying modern hunter-gatherers found some common patterns. The first strategy was timing. The most intimate moments came at night, in the dark, when people were asleep or pretending to be. Darkness offered mental privacy, and physical privacy didn't exist. The second strategy was distance. Couples would slip away from camp, leaving the firelight, risked predator attacks, so they couldn't go too far, but stayed just far enough to get some space. In the dark, 50 feet away was almost invisible. The third strategy, and this is crucial, was social protocol. Everyone pretended not to notice. Think about it this way. You are sharing a tiny tent on a family camping trip. Someone is changing. You do not stare. You look away. Even if there is no physical space, you still give them some psychological space, right? Ancient humans did this by building social rules around privacy. Sometimes it is happening but ignore it. But here is the twist. This is where it gets interesting. Privacy as a concept did not matter to them like it does to us. Anthropologist Colin Turnbull spent years living with the Mbuti of Central Africa. He noted they had no word for privacy. Not because they were primitive, but being alone was just completely foreign to them. In those days, being alone meant you were completely vulnerable. It meant leaving the safety of the tribe. For most of human history, isolation was not a luxury, it was a death sentence. Since everyone is curious, let us talk about toilets. Ancient humans had no toilets or outhouses when they had to go. They just walked away from camp to a designated downwind spot. You did your business and walked back. Was that private? By modern standards, not at all. You were totally exposed. But social customs still mattered. People did not follow you or watch. Instead, polite ignorance gave you an illusion of privacy. It is just like using a public restroom today. Other people are right there. You can hear them, and they can hear you, but everyone pretends not to. Now let us look at sleep. Ancient humans slept in groups not because they wanted to, but because they had to. Seriously, at night, temperatures dropped and predators stalked. Fires needed constant tending. Sleeping together meant warmth and safety. Archaeological evidence from Ohalo shows 23,000 years ago, humans built tiny shelters barely big enough to lie down. Everyone slept piled together. Imagine not being able to roll over without bumping into someone. And this lasted for tens of thousands of years. Even in medieval Europe, entire families shared the very same room, and often huddled in the same bed. Giving kids their own private bedroom is actually a surprisingly modern invention, and it only became normal in the 1900s. So, when did this concept of privacy actually even begin? The answer lies in agriculture. Around 10,000 years ago, humans started farming. Farming forced people to settle down, and staying in one place meant building permanent structures, and those permanent homes meant walls. For the first time in history, people could close a door, and other folks could not peer inside your space. But even then, privacy was a pure luxury. Only the wealthy had private bedrooms. Most families still packed into a single room together. Privacy as a fundamental right that everyone should enjoy is a concept that only appeared a few hundred years ago. But here is the part that is hard for us to comprehend today. Ancient societies didn't actually value privacy the way we do. Psychologist Eric Fromm argued that wanting privacy is just a side effect of individualism. When your identity is tied to a group, being alone feels completely wrong. It feels like isolation. For early humans, the tribe was everything. Your very survival depended on others. Who you were was defined by your role in the tribe. Solitude was never peaceful. It was terrifying. Today, we face the exact opposite struggle. We are so isolated that loneliness has become an epidemic. We have all the privacy we wanted, yet we are miserable. So, how did they handle it? Ancient people found privacy through social agreements, not by building physical walls. They used timing, distance, and social pretense to draw an invisible boundary line. But they never had to feel lonely, because their sense of self was totally different from ours. Then, agriculture built our first walls, and we slowly began creating the modern world we know today. Shut the door, and you're totally alone. A place where you can go days without seeing anyone. Nobody. Privacy became so normal that we forgot its true cost. For 290,000 years, humans were never lonely. But then, we invented walls, and we've been lonely ever since. Still,